This is BBC One. Time now for a spot of daydreaming with the Liver Birds.
All the rest Broken, lost but never broken. Sing E-I-I-G-O. La 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 la.
It's all right, Mummy. It's only me. Ah. Peace.
I'm going to take a contract out on her.
She's just full of fun, that's all.
Then why does she spoil everybody else's?
She doesn't realise she's doing it.
I never thought I'd suffer from noise pollution in my own home.
Sandra, are you there?
Hi, Beryl.
Can I borrow your air freshener? The one that smells of a bunch of spring flowers after a shower, or words to that effect.
In the kitchen, left-hand cupboard.
Great, thanks. I won't stop. I know you're both resting. Good. Works.
I don't know of any one single person who can come to so much harm sitting in her own chair in her own living room with the front door shut and the windows bolted.
Sandra, I brought you and your mum some peanut brittle.
Thank you very much, Beryl.
It's okay.
It's all right. She'll stop in a minute. She'll realise the complexities of her life and then she'll go to bed and stay there for days.
So what do we do in the meantime? Hire a Securicore van and sit outside in it?
I thought there was something missing.
I did not, Beryl. I want you to know that.
That's all right. Doesn't matter.
It does matter. Privacy does matter.
Oh, well, I never seem to do anything exciting enough to warrant it.
It's a very hard thing for me to say, Beryl, but this is my house.
I know it is. Who's been saying it isn't?
What I mean is, Mummy and I were resting. She was asleep, and I was trying to think logically and quietly about Rex, and I...
You just got to the bit where he'd taken all your clothes off, and I turned my music on. I'm sorry, Sandra.
It's not just the music, is it, Beryl? You come down those stairs as if you've been shot from a cannon. And worse, you were singing.
Oh, I see. So I'm not allowed to be energetic, I'm not allowed to be enthusiastic, I'm not allowed to listen to music, I'm not allowed to sing. Does breathing bother you? Or would you like me to have my lungs collapse?
Everything in moderation, Beryl, that's all I'm saying.
Well, it wasn't like this before when we shared a flat, was it? I mean, I had to have my eggs and bacon listening to Maria
Eggs,
Callas.
bacon, beans, tomatoes and black pudding.
Eggs, bacon, beans, tomatoes and black pudding. Sandra listening to Maria Callas, bleeding to death in Topsy.
It was different then. It was just you and me then. I've got Mummy to think of now.
Well, would you like me to tell you something? And I think you're going to have to sit down for this one, Sandra.
Perfectly all right standing up, thank you. Time might have passed, but I'm still the strong, determined character I ever was.
Well, what I'm going to say is not very nice.
So nothing's changed then.
And when I've said it, I'll pack my bag and I'll go.
If you wish.
I can't stand your mother. No, I dread her. More than anything else, I dread your mother.
Is that all?
No, because it's not the usual kind of dread. It's not like going to the dentist or the gynecologist.
I don't have those problems.
No, well, if you don't use the car, you never need a mechanic. No, it's worse than that. I mean, I lie awake in bed at night wondering how I can dispose of her. I don't mean kill her, I wouldn't do that. But I would like to just take her out and introduce her to a nice, round, pink man of about 80 with a car and good health. Well, perhaps a slight hearing deficiency might be a good thing. And they could set up in a bungalow together, they could sit under an apple tree with their flask of tea and their 2 wagon wheels, and that way, Sandra, she would not be sitting there ruining the rest of your life, and if I would let her mine too. And she would not be standing between us, and we could go out and have some fun like we used to.
I don't believe I'm hearing this.
Oh, I'll bet well I'm going. And why does she wear those bloody hats?
It's a form of shyness. Some people hide behind a fringe. Some people hide behind long hair. My mother hides beneath a hat.
Your mother and shyness don't go together.
Well, hats are feminine things, Beryl.
She's not feminine. She's a sort of posh all-in wrestler.
Is that all you have to say? I don't criticise your mother, do I? Even though she spends most of her life totally rat-legged.
You don't have to live with my mother.
No, but I have to receive phone calls, don't I, every 5 minutes, asking us to prise her out of some supermarket door or arrange to have the Mersey dragged for her. And what about your father, with his accident-prone bus and his loud-hailer mouth? And those are mine.
No, they're not.
They are. Saint Laurent, look.
Oh, is that how you say it? Wait a minute. You stitched that label in.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're mine.
All right. Well, that's mine.
Beryl, you gave me this. You said it was too big for you.
Well, I want it back.
Oh, well, if you must be so petty.
Oh, and you're not all you're cracked up to be. Oh, as my man would say, all fur coat and no knickers.
These are very old tights, Beryl. I only wear them round the house.
Well, I thought once you got a ladder, you used the legs for hanging peanuts out to feed the birds.
So I do. This must have been an oversight.
Hody-ho! An oversight? You're talking to a friend, not addressing a board meeting, you pretentious cow.
Sometimes one has to reassess one's friends.
Yes, like now.
Where are you going?
I'll go home, think things over for a few days.
What about your stuff?
I'll come and collect it when I can, excuse me.
Well, have you got everything you need?
Certainly have.
Shall I make you a cup of tea before you go?
No, thanks.
You know, I used to wear this hat to your father's Masonic functions. I was very friendly with the Grand Master's wife. You remember her, darling? The one with the vaccination marks. Her husband ran away with a harpist. Fortunately, I never fell into the trap of being a snob. One knows one's worth, of course, but one refrains from talking about it. Did you reprimand your friend? It's such a pity she's so common. Oh, now that hat has an interesting history. Your father had just been made captain of the golf club. You were 8 at the time, and we were going out to the club when the up-and-over garage door decapitated the poor bird. Fortunately, your father happened to know an eminent taxidermist.
Shall we have another cup of tea, Mummy?
At the end of the
Storm.
there's a golden
Sky.
sky and the sweet silver sound of the lark.
Walk on!
Walk on
With hope in your heart!
I'll bet you're wondering why I'm pissed, aren't you, Lucian?
You've had a row with Sandra, yeah, you said.
See, Ma'am, it's not that I hate the old bat. It's just I could hear her voice in Sandra's. This is my house, Beryl. I felt as though I was sitting in life's chair, watching the only bit of joy I managed to conjure up fly through the window with its bum on fire.
My life has been worse than prison. Worse than hell. I should have seen the omen when I saw it, because it pulled down the church the day after we were married. It was the good Lord saying, we've done enough damage, let's get the hell out of here.
What's going in your handbag, ma'am?
I should have scarpered with him. I should have lifted me wedding train and legged it faster than his bloody bus.
You can't sleep in this house. There's no way you can kip in this house.
So all you do is sleep. I don't know how I ever conceived our Lucian and our Beryl. You were yawning while you were trying to undo your pyjama cord.
If it's so bad, why don't you leave, eh? Why doesn't she leave?
Maybe she loves you, Dad.
If you love someone, you don't wear a T-shirt with "get off" written across it, do you?
You bought me that T-shirt.
I bought it to wear during the day, didn't I? Not to go to bed in. Oh, look at that. Cold and black. Bloody cold and bloody black.
Like my life.
And mine.
I've got me rabbits.
Sometimes when I feel a tear coming, I think to myself, it's no use, Camilla. They don't understand.
I understand, Ma'am. I understand.
Like I said, I've got me rabbits.
Your dad goes off for days. His boss is his wings. He has friends in Manchester, Sussex and Scotland. It's like being married to a bloody racing pigeon.
He's lucky, Ma'am. He found a way to be happy.
Whenever I think of that boss, my very next thought is a packet of Semtex.
Well, you wouldn't want him at home, would you, ma'am? What with the gin and his political outbursts, it would be like today in Parliament in this house.
Well, I keep asking the good Lord to deliver me from me troubles, but he's never in.
Well, he has to have a day off. It can't be much fun up there. Lucian, I want you to fetch me furniture from Sandra's.
And where are you going to put it?
Soon.
Where are you going to put it?
Don't know. Drive around until I find somewhere.
Oh, come on, pull yourselves together, will you? Look, this time last week, you were crying because Gwyn had run away to London. Well, now he's back. And this time last week, you were crying because, well, it's what you do, isn't it? Look, life is not that bad. We've all got our faculties. Well, some of us have. We've got a house, a backyard, shoes on our feet, pan of scouse on the cooker, a nice warm
Who
fire.
said we got a pan of scouse on the cooker?
No, what I meant, ma'am.
I haven't made any scouse.
Ma'am, what I meant was we've got food in our bellies.
I can't afford to have a pan of scouse on the cooker.
Ma'am, I'm not talking
If
about...
I could afford to have a pan of scouse on the cooker, I wouldn't need the gin, would I?
All right! Let's forget the scouse. I'm sorry I mentioned the scouse. I will never mention scouse in this house again. All right?
Come on, ma'am. Let's have another gin.
Your front door's open. It's dangerous, that.
I expect you're wondering why I'm wearing this hat, Lucian.
It's a nice hat. Pity about the bird.
It's symbolic.
Yeah, well, you might as well be symbolic when you're stuffed. There's not much else for it.
No, I mean the hat. The whole hat on top of my head.
Oh, yeah.
I'm realising my fate, you see, Lucian. Accepting it, if you like. I'm going to end up exactly like my mother. Not that I mind, of course. My mother is a wonderful person. But it's not what I planned.
No, well, you wouldn't, would you?
Beryl's left. We had a row.
Women tend to do that, yeah.
She's gone home.
Bit like jumping out of a burning aeroplane and landing on a church spire.
She kept slamming doors.
Beryl does that, yeah.
And singing. Have you ever heard Beryl sing?
That's why I like rabbits. They don't sing.
So, here I am.
Yeah.
I've completed the course. All that's left for me is a surgical stocking.
You know, I've been thinking. It's not that bad, is it? Being alive. Just being able to put one foot in front of the other. To look at something green and think, oh, look, green. Well, some people are colourblind, you see. They might look at something green and think, oh, look, blue. It's 'cause we're whole, you see. And it's nice being whole. Because when you're whole, you can arrange your life. You can put flowers in your window, keep rabbits in your backyard, wear yellow socks, have a pan of stew on the cooker.
If you mean scouse, we don't have scouse in this house, young man.
We'll be able to start in a minute. They're just sorting themselves out.
That means we'll be here all day. You know what women are like, all gob and no logic.
I suppose that's meant to be funny, young man.
No wonder bird life's becoming extinct. She's got them all on a bleeding head.
Mummy!
Aye, aye.
Oh, Mummy!
Mummy's just gone for a little walk, so why don't you leave her alone?
It's her legs. They can't cope with the pavements.
That's probably because they don't get enough practice.
All right, you two, you can start. What's up now?
Nothing, everything's fine. Beryl.
What?
I'd be very grateful if you'd leave the hoover, the cheese scraper, the scissors, the toaster. You remember you broke yours, and the tin opener.
I gave you the tin opener back.
No, you didn't. I remember because Mummy didn't have her tin grapefruit segments this morning.
I brought it down yesterday.
Honestly, Beryl, you didn't.
I did.
You didn't.
I remember you were in the kitchen.
You bloody didn't.
Why don't you two go down to the cafe for a coffee and leave us to get on with this?
Have you ever thought that Mummy might like to be alone from time to time? You know, just doing her own thing, like standing on her own 2 feet, just now and then.
She's 82 next birthday.
Well, let her decide how old she is. Oh, and by the way, just to keep you up to date, she's admitting to 59. I used to think that my rabbits needed me, but in fact, I needed them.
But Mummy's not a rabbit, is she?
How do you know? How do we know who or what we are? I mean, just look at these two. Totally thick. Like a dodo.
Well, I will, if Beryl will.
And when you get back, your furniture will be gone. Mummy will be here, and you two will part the best of friends. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Have they gone looking for me?
No, they've gone for coffee.
Good. I want a word with you, young man. Come with me. Were you born with hair like that, or are you on drugs?
No, it happened when I got my first glimpse of life. It's been standing on end ever since.
Yes, I'm not surprised in that house. Have you ever been on drugs?
I thought you might have some.
Oh, dear me, I don't know where to get them.
They all look so young. Look at her. Pulsating youth. God, I hate her.
And they're all in twos, have you noticed that? Mind you, being a couple isn't all it's cracked up to be. They'll probably go home and end up throwing plant pots at one another.
Some won't. Some might go home and make love.
And then throw plant pots at one another.
Very cynical, aren't you, Beryl?
People always say you're cynical if you know the truth.
Do your mum and dad mind you going home?
Won't be for long.
What will you do?
I'll probably bump into a millionaire and have another bash at marriage. What will you do?
I'll phone Rex.
What for? He's a prat.
That's what I always did. We'll meet secretly when Mummy's having her rest periods. And then we'll attempt to make love in a hollow somewhere on Heswell Beach. And then he'll get mad because he'll get pebbles in his pants. And then we'll have a row. And then I'll go home and Mummy will be sitting there with her face set, as in concrete. And then she and I'll have a row. And then I'll go to bed with a cup of cocoa. And then until the next phone call, I'll make hundreds of stupid little cakes and push that bloody Hoover around till I'm dizzy.
You're going to have a very full schedule.
I miss being attractive, Beryl.
You are attractive.
And desirable.
You are desirable.
No, I mean the whole bit, you know. The walk. Eyelashes fluttering. Chest bouncing. Hips wiggling.
Yeah, well, you will miss that last one.
I can still do it, you know.
Shouldn't bother. It looks a bit like a ship in distress.
Don't you miss it all?
Well, if you remember, I had nothing to bounce, nothing to wiggle, and my eyelashes kept falling off.
You knock them out, though, Beryl. The times I let one down the fire escape as another came through the front door.
I was a little devil.
And you still look young.
Yeah, well, that's hormone replacement pills. Do you take them?
No, I don't need them, actually.
When your glass is half full, top it up. That's what my mum always says.
I'm lucky my glass is still full.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel as though I've been having hot flushes since I was 12.
Oh, it must be ever so embarrassing.
It is, and you can't hide it. I mean, you sit there thinking nobody knows, and your neck's the colour of tomato puree.
I expect I'll find out all about that one day.
I used to think it wasn't fair that men got away with the menopause, but it isn't true. They might not have hot flushes, but they have eyebrows.
Eyebrows? What do you mean?
Have you seen all those middle-aged politicians on the television? They've all got great big yard brushes over their eyes. If you had chimney trouble, you'd only have to shove old Heseltine up the flue.
I'll miss our profound conversations, Beryl.
You blow over. I suppose I'll have to sleep on the sofa at home. My mum's in the spare room, and bits of my dad's bus engine are in the others.
Oh, you can't sleep on the sofa, Beryl.
Oh, it's all right. Sofas, orange boxes, I've done it all. Come on, we better be getting back.
Oh, yeah. Right. I hope you come and visit Beryl.
Yeah, I will.
Good, then. When you find the tin opener, you can bring it back and we'll have a cup of coffee.
I've told you before I gave you that tin opener back.
No. No, you didn't, Beryl.
Right. All right. Here's some money. You go and buy yourself a bloody tin opener.
I don't want your stupid money, you stupid cow.
Keep your gob shut about it.
Mummy's right. You can be quite common.
And you, two boring old farts.
Don't you dare.
Just go and check my stuff.
Right.
Right.
Beryl?
They've moved the wrong stuff.
Your furniture's upstairs, and your furniture's in the van.
Where's Mummy? Mummy! Mummy!
You know, I've always loved this view. Well, the kettle's on. What do you both want for tea?
First time she's made tea for 20 years.
Yeah. It's nice to see the old dragon settled.
Yeah.
Right. Well, better be off.
Yeah.
Leave you to do your own thing.
Yeah.
Sorry about the row.
Oh, it's all right.
I'll see you then.
See you.
Yep.
Beryl,
Yeah?
would you like to share?
Shit. Ooh, I don't know. Well, I mean, well, that's a big decision, I mean. God, I thought you'd never ask.
You better go and tell Lucia.
I will.
Well, go on then, go on.
No, go on then, go on. Sandra, you do take hormone replacement pills, don't you?
By the ton, Beryl. By the ton.
Hey, you dancing?
You're asking.
I'm asking.
I'm laughing.
In there.